So you want to know the most amount of fat that you can lose in a week. 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is where people go dead wrong. They think 7 days when they should be thinking 7 years. Because when I'm 50, 60, 70, I'll need to be lifting weights as often and as much as possible to offset all the things that are coming with my age. Arthritis, heart disease, everything that's coming my way at 50, 60, I want to avoid like the plague because I like my life. I love living. Now that's going to come in phases, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. However, if you look at 7 days, you're going to get so stressed at the outcome of achieving fat loss in 7 days that you'll forget to nail this. And this takes a lifetime. I'm going to get out my trusty calculator. Say the average person burns 2,500 calories a day. Actually, it's 2,000 times 7, which is 14,000 calories a day. You're going to eat. If we got 14K here, and if we starve ourselves, 0K, and this, it's about 7,000 to 8,000 calories per kilogram of body weight, per body fat, of energy in that, right? Now, sure, it's not going to be a 1-for-1, fat digested into fat stored, absolutely. Even if you are in a surplus, it's not a 1-for-1 because your body has natural processes that might be more than the estimation, lower than the estimation, or the fat content in the food you're eating has about a 20% variance of total calories, so could vary. However, let's just pretend for the sake of this, it's 0K. So probably you might lose 2 kilos your first week and then 2 or 3 kilos of stored glycogen, so equaling 5 total kg. That's if you eat nothing for a whole week. Let's say you want to lose 5 kilos in from 20 to 20.5, right? Let's say if I gave you a textbook and told you to read an entire textbook and tell me the information in that textbook the next day. It'd be pretty you'd probably be able to tell me the first page. But if I gave you 6 months to be able to do it, you'd probably do a pretty bang up job of being able to tell me what was in that textbook, right? If you cared enough. Same thing goes with our habits. It's very, very easy to starve yourself for a day. It is not easy to starve yourself for 6 months because you will die. We want to make sure our habits are in line. Here, 20s, 21, 22, 23, 24, all the way down to 70. So by the time this comes a knocking, and it will come knocking unless you plan on dying early, which I don't, you will be fit as you'll just probably look a bit older and wrinklier. It's about it. But you'll have a much higher quality of life. Versus if you try 7 days and you try and lose 5 kilos, well, you could lose 5 kilos in 6 months here and you could keep it off if you just adopted these habits. And if every 6 months you lost anywhere from 1 to 4 kilos, I guarantee you'd be able to stay at your desired body weight, no problem. Now, 5 kilos is 200, thereabouts, to 250 grams of fat loss per week. Now, do you feel like you could lose 250 grams of fat a week? Half a pound? Everybody in here has been able to, I guarantee you if you're probably watching this, you've probably been able to lose more weight than that in a week, no problem. But being able to sustain that over 6 months, that's the challenge. And that's more of a nod to your habits. Whereas you can take some extreme measures here, not eat, lose 5 kilos. But guess what? After 7 days, you will put it all back on. Just like when you get a bonus at work. Let's say you get a Christmas bonus and it's $2,000. You've been working your ass off. You're with a company that gives you 50 grand a year and they've given you a $2,000 bonus. What do you think you're going to spend that money on? Do you think you're going to store it and keep it? No. You're going to go out drinking. You're going to put it on your car. You're going to put it on something. And it's going to go just as easy as it comes. Because you didn't earn it. You didn't learn how to save it. Now to somebody who has really, really good financial habits, they wouldn't need to put it on the car. They would have already spent that money and allocated the correct amount of funds. So then that 2 grand comes and they just put it in the bank. And they just keep saving and saving and saving. Whereas someone who has shitty habits is going to spend, spend, spend. Just like this person. They're going to spend, 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 spend. This person is going to develop their habits and keep the weight off for life. They're constantly putting debits in the bank of their physical health. How much weight can you lose in 7 days? Probably 2 to 4 kilos. Will you keep it? No. What's better? Having a look at your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and developing a plan based on that. So you have long-term, sustained success that's guaranteed and not like this. So you can spend less time worrying about your weight loss and more time worrying about your success and your life and where you are going. Hope this video helped, and if it didn't, you know the f***s. Team, if you liked that video, be sure to click here for your next video or here for something that you may like, all that sort of stuff, and make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell to make sure you get all our videos. We make at least one video daily on a different topic. See you on the next one.